Or whoa. I mean,
with Kirk Cousins though.
same offensive coordinator, but I'm going to a different side of the coast with it.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, you can get Mr. Irrelevant, and then next thing you know, your team just almost about to make the Super Bowl, and then come back next year and he an MVP runner. You know, MVP Purdy. It's gonna be tough. I don't know if the Steelers can do that. Everybody not blessed like the 49ers or Howie. Oh, what's Dylan Lawson? The form? Oh, see, look, we getting updates. I knew he was up to something over there, but we gotta say it, man. We gotta say it. I came on here 2 episodes ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Joe, you planted your flag. You even changed Dave's mind in the midst of you planting your flag. And then Dave was like, nah, I got your back too, because that's my quarterback. And then some people came on here and said, nah, Dak the guy. Dak is back. Dak is whack right now. Look, is Purdy the clear-cut MVP front runner? And Joe, you started all this with this top 5. So you're going to start it off again. I know your answer is no, but go ahead and tell us why it's yes.
What?
Look, I had to throw you off too. I messed up the casserole, man.
So, listen, I'm not going to those stats. I know Dave got that. I know Dave read with the stats. So, I ain't going to throw up Purdy stats, you know, all that stuff. I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to say you should have listened. I'm not going to say, you know, man, I mean, what can I say, right? But what I would say is this. Dak Prescott fumbled, man. He really did. He fumbled the bag. 2 weeks in a row, the second place person fumbled the bag. 2 weeks ago, I felt like Jalen Hurts was probably above Dak because he beat Dak head to head, and then Dak just smashed him. I mean, smashed him. Even when Hurts beat Dak, there was an argument that Dak outplayed him, right? Even in the loss. There was no argument when Dak beat Hurts. We know who won that battle, fair and square. So not only Dak had the numbers to compete with Purdy, he finally beat a juggernaut, you know, so quote unquote. So he beat the Eagles. And then we like, whoa, it might be Dak. And with the star on his helmet, he just might get it. Y'all made a good point in the chat. He's a Cowboy. Purdy's Mr. Irrelevant. If it's close, let's give it to the Cowboy. You know what I mean? Like it's been a long time, right? So we're gonna give it to the Cowboy. But then Dak I came on the show, I said, man, Dak will really impress me, Tomo, if he go head-to-head with Josh Allen. You know Josh Allen didn't have a good game, but if Josh Allen have a good game and Dak outdoes him and win, I would be highly impressed because I don't think he ever really done that in his career since Zeke wasn't the guy. Go toe-to-toe with an elite thrower of the ball and go out there and win. And that's what AJ thought, took a shot at Hurts and all that stuff. But he came out and he laid an egg. And it's like, dang, Dak. He had the word. There has never been a Super Bowl champion who suffered that big of a loss in December. There has never been a team who won a Super Bowl that year. Within that same year, they took that big of a loss in December.
It's about Purdy, Joe. It's about Purdy. But it's about Purdy right now.
I know it's about Purdy. So Dak fell the train. The only person, not only because Dak will probably now Dak and Hurts they waiting for Purdy to slip, and they have no control of that. There's only one quarterback now that can possibly take Purdy's spot, and it's Lamar Jackson. And let me tell you why. Narratives matter in the sports. In the NBA, Joel Embiid, you look at the full resume, Joker should have won. I'm sorry. But the fact that Joker slipped while Embiid was rising towards the end of the year, the last thing you remember is Embiid cooking and Joker not cooking, so they gave it to Embiid. They play head-to-head. Y'all know if Lamar Jackson goes out and outplays Purdy, and Purdy has a bad game, they're going to put Lamar up front. This is all that. Forget the numbers. He has the best record in the NFL, and he beat the MVP. They're going to just jump him to the front. Or it might be a close race. And then Lamar got to play 2-0. He could potentially control his own destiny. Now, I don't agree with that, but based on the voters, that's how I'm telling you, that's how they're going to look at it. He's the only one that has control over his MVP destiny right now, other than Brock Purdy. But right now, Brock Purdy is the clear favorite. If you don't say Brock Purdy is the MVP right now, you just, I don't know. You just like AJ hated that take so bad, he put Dak in front of him. That's how bad he hated that take. All right, and he hated that. So Yes, I'm not gonna give you the numbers on that stuff because we know what the numbers looking like. I mean, he leading the league in passing touchdowns, he leading the league in QBR, QB rating, but he got the most 4 touchdown games in the NFL right now. But I'm not gonna go there with the numbers. I'm gonna let Dave do that. But Brock Purdy is definitely MVP front runner.
Brock Purdy told Dak Prescott after yesterday.
Yeah, oh, I ain't even hear it. Do it again.
My turn.
Oh, I thought was she done.
nah, that's we saving that for another topic.
Oh, okay.
It's Purdy the clear cut favorite. Yeah, he is clear cut. There's no way about it. We argued about it. Purdy came out and did the nice thing yesterday and said, "Now I want to give it to McCaffrey." I mean, I would have said that too if McCaffrey was running the way he was running and keeping the defense up off me. Because if I can hand the ball off and you can go for 10 to 15 yards, maybe a touchdown, thank you. Same thing with Debo. If I could just throw it up or maybe throw a short pass here and then Debo take it to the house, cool. Hey, Brandon Ayuk, you slanting people up. I mean, routing people up, not slants. My bad. The AJ Brown comment came back. You routing people up, and the next thing you know, I throw a touchdown. Boom. Hey, George Kittle, you lifting your jersey up saying F Dallas, man. You making my life easy. Hey, defense, no matter what happens here, y'all know I got your back because I can score touchdowns. Even if y'all let another team score and look like they about to win, because y'all did it 2 weeks in a row. Made the Cardinals think they was a good team. Then y'all made the Seahawks think they was a good team. It's like, no. Hit the switch. I got y'all back. Because that's what the MVP gonna do. Cam Newton came out and called all these people game managers. But hey, I'd rather be the greatest game manager of all time and win a Super Bowl than be arguing about if I'm a game manager or not and can't beat a team on the road. But that's another story for another day. I'm going with Purdy. Y'all know the stats. But yesterday, signed, sealed, delivered. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 242. Another game.
And he got hurt.
Another one. And the only thing you can say about this kid is, well, if his pieces are not around him, then why is he not? Then who is he? I mean, well, Dave, I'll let you go in and say what you got to say about that because we know what the Eagles was last year. But if you look at Aaron Rodgers' teams when he won MVP, he had weapons. If you look at Tom Brady when he won MVP, he had weapons. Mahomes had weapons. I mean, at the end of the day, they give it to the quarterbacks for a reason. But the odds just went up. He was at plus 200 last week. Now going into this is minus 190. Clear cut favorite, man. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can say about it.
Minus 190?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you this. The only way he can lose this is if the Ravens show up and show out. That's the only way. Other than that, you can get no argument from me no more. So on you, Dave.
All right. So I'm going to address the CMC argument first. So CMC right now is leading the league in yards per carry, yards per game as a running back. He leads the league in rushing. He's tied right now for total touchdowns with Raheem Mostert. Not leading, he's tied. And I believe he's fourth in another stat in rushing. However, he is on pace to have 2,200 yards total. That's receiving and running this year, which is great. But it's not record breaking. It's not something that we haven't seen before. So it is great because he's breaking a lot of 49ers records, which is awesome. But you know who else is breaking 49ers records right now?
Talk to him.
Brock Purdy. We haven't had a 4,000-yard passing quarterback since Jeff Garcia.
Jeff Garcia was a dog.
Montana never threw for over 4,000 yards. Steve Young never threw for over 4,000 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo, who was in this offense, never threw for over 4,000 yards. Neither did Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard or Trey Lance, for that matter. So that's those numbers. And like Joe said, I mean, Purdy, who is the Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft last year, is first in passer rating, first in passing touchdowns, compared to interceptions because he only has thrown 7 interceptions all year. They did remember the argument for Dak was he had less interceptions. Now they are tied. Passing touchdowns per attempt, Purdy leads in that. Passing yards per attempt, Purdy leads in that. Passing yards per completion, Purdy leads in that. Wins, Purdy also leads in that. He is on pace to throw over 4,000 yards. He also, like you said, he leads the league in passing touchdowns. Did y'all see the touchdown pass he threw to CMC yesterday when he was in the pocket and he had to run out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He turned his body and had to throw it across. Have y'all ever seen Jimmy Garoppolo do that?
Never mind. It's a PG show. Go ahead.
I'm just asking a question.
Nah.
Just
Okay.
asking a question. Have you seen Jimmy Garoppolo do that?
No.
Okay. So, and then there's this argument about him being a game manager or a game changer. I would say he's neither. I would say he's a gamer. When the game plays, he goes out there, he makes plays. There's been plenty of quarterbacks in this offense that Kyle Shanahan has coached. The best out of this offense that we've seen that he's coached, not just as a head coach, but as a coach, is Matt Ryan. Did Matt Ryan have Julio Jones? Did they take the award from him?
Somebody said my argument was flawed when I tried to use that.
He also had RG Crumpler as no. RG Crumpler was way before his time. Sorry, that's wrong. But he had weapons. John Montana had Jerry Rice.
Crazy all the time.
He also had Roger. He had Roger Craig, who was one of the best running backs of all time. Everybody who's won MVP has had weapons. That's just what happens. You don't take away somebody's MVP because they have weapons around them. Other than Lamar Jackson, who had no weapons pretty much when he won MVP. Name me an MVP that won without having weapons. Brady won it with weapons. Patrick Mahomes won it with weapons. He had Kelsey and Tyreek Hill.
We had Kelsey last year.
Exactly. Aaron Rodgers had weapons. Did everyone forget what Jordy Nelson did that year when he won MVP?
I got the rosters up for each year too, because Carl thought I was gonna let that one slide.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers had weapons. Are we really thinking that? I'm not saying that Jordy Nelson is a Hall of Famer, but we know when Jordy Nelson was in that offense, he was one of the best receivers in the league when he was in that offense. Now people will say that's because of Aaron Rodgers, and we know Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm not saying that Purdy's a Hall of Fame quarterback. This is only his second season in the year.
Your best example was Kurt Warner.
That too. Rich Gannon. Was he the best player on his team when he won the MVP?
Jerry Rice on there.
Jerry Rice was on that team. And Jerry Rice, even at that age, was balling.
He was.
So come on, man. I mean, all I'm saying is when I make these arguments, I'm not saying that Brock Purdy is better than any of these quarterbacks. I'm not saying that at all. But was Brady drafted? Brady was 6th overall. Mark Bolger was undrafted. I think was it Kurt Warner was also undrafted.
Kurt Warner undrafted.
Kurt Warner was undrafted. So
we're MVP. First year starter.
We're gonna take away these. We're gonna take away his weapons. That it's not like he asked for this. This is what he got drafted into. He got drafted in the situation, and he was the 3rd string quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo was number 2. Trey Lance was 1. He got drafted into this situation, but you're faulting him from being able to be good with these weapons that the other 2 quarterbacks were not good with. So Purdy's the MVP.
He also had Randall Cobb and a young Devontae Adams. So Devontae Adams was on that team each year that he won the MVP. He was young the first year when you brought up Jordy Nelson, though. But I'm confused by that too, Carl. So you're gonna have to explain that to me. Like, are you trying to say
Jones on there too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe the year or 2 before that, he had Aaron Jones as a running back, and that's when they were using them by running back by committee, because that's what Mike McCarthy offense is. He don't really use running backs that much, unlike what Shanahan does. So again, I'm confused. I don't understand about that.
I think the best example for Purdy is Kurt Warner, man. Marshall Faulk literally won MVP the year after. That's his Chris McCaffrey. And Isaac Bruce was an elite. Now, elite is like crazy, you know. Like
He had Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. So people
I
forget
think
about
Torrey was
those
a
three.
rookie, or he's in his second year, but he was still good. And Isaac Bruce was like that. So, yeah, man. I mean,
And I kind of want to talk about the Lamar Jackson argument too. He would get it, but that would be because his team is winning, not because of his stats. Because he only has 17 passing touchdowns right now.
who?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it's that. You know, I'm telling you
He
that
has
because
he has 200. No, I'm not saying he don't
Yeah.
deserve to be in the conversation. I'm not saying he don't, but
if
what
we
I'm
just look
saying
at the
is,
big, look at the overall, he
yeah,
doesn't.
if
He
you look
really
at the
doesn't
overall
belong in
picture,
the conversation. I'm being real with you, but
If you-
because of how it goes, he just won on primetime. Everybody watched. He's
Yeah.
beat the Jags.
yeah,
And he didn't have a beautiful game, but you see how everybody was feeling after they won. Like, oh, is he gonna be MVP? You know? And then they play y'all on Christmas Eve. That's like Lamar, like, thank you, God. Thank you guys against the 49ers on Christmas Eve. At this time,
so Marshall Faulk is not CMC.
that's
Do
what I'm
people forget-
saying.
Do people forget who Marshall Faulk was?
Yeah, Marshall
All
Faulk.
right.
Marshall Faulk was second and third in MVP voting when Kurt won. And then when Kurt won, then the following year, Marshall Faulk won MVP because he broke the touchdown record that year, and he led the league in scrimmage yards like your boy CMC. He had 1,000 receiving yards. That's
Yeah.
crazy. When he won
And then-
MVP.
And then Purdy's he's on pace to have 3 receivers on his team to have over 1,000 yards. Is that all CMC? I don't think that's
How
all.
you hear
CMC.
that?
That's Purdy.
Marshall Faulk had 1,000 receiving yards as a running back.
I remember the greatest show on turf. I want them to.
See, how many receiving yards CMC got?
Can't stand it right now.
500?
Right now,
He had 1,000.
No, I think he's like maybe like 600 something like that.
He
Because
probably got 600, I think I
I think he
said.
got a total of 1,800 yards.
Man, that dude
total.
Marshall Faulk was
1,200
a
is
white guy.
rushing.
Yo, tripping.
he got 509.
509. Marshall Faulk had 1,000 in a 16-game year. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But did he do that while leading the league in touchdowns?
That's
He
in
balled.
Carolina.
That's what I'm
What did he
saying.
do here? I don't care what he did in Carolina. What did he do here?
That's all they had, Carolina. I mean, but he did 1,000 receiving yards and he led the league in touchdowns that year. That dude Marshall Faulk was crazy.
I'm just saying.
Had to
Purdy,
do-
2019 was a good season. though.
I'm just
2019
saying,
in Carolina was a
I'm
good
just
year.
saying, Brandon Ayuk has
what?
already went for over 1,000 yards. Kittle and Debo's about to do the same thing.
I was talking about CMC 2019 year. That's when he had 1,300 rushing and he had 1,000 receiving.
Yeah, CMC has always been a scrimmage back.
Yeah, he liked that.
That's why when they got him, I was like, oh.
That's why I say he's the best dual threat running back in the league. Somebody else tried to tell me that I was wrong.
Who disagreed with that?
The Browns guy, he said it was Chubb, but you know.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you said that. Let's
Go ahead. Sorry.
now go ahead and finish your last
No,
comment.
I
We gotta
think
talk
about
about-
something about that, but go ahead.
Now we're going straight to the AFC since you brought up Chubb, man. Get well soon. You gotta
Yeah.
talk about the AFC South right quick, man. I know this was one of those divisions. It's kind of like the NFC South where we thought one team was going to win outside of Joe. Joe picked the Falcons, but we just thought this division was one team to lock up, and they still trying to find themselves. Jaguars lose last night to the Ravens on Monday night. No, that's Sunday night. Man, I need a nap. That was Sunday night. Man, I feel like the Jags. I'm trying to find them.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.